The Silk Road. The very name conjures images of ancient trade routes and exotic goods. But this Silk Road was different. It was a digital bazaar, hidden deep within the recesses of the internet, a place where anonymity reigned and anything could be bought and sold. Drugs, weapons, stolen data. If it was illegal, it was likely available on the Silk Road. This online marketplace, shrouded in secrecy, became a symbol of the dark side of the internet, a stark reminder that the digital world could be a dangerous place. The Silk Road existed on the dark web, a network of websites not indexed by traditional search engines. Access required specialized software, namely the Tor browser, which anonymized users' identities and locations. This veil of secrecy attracted criminals and thrill-seekers alike, making the Silk Road a hotbed of illicit activity. This essay delves into the rise and fall of the Silk Road, exploring its inner workings, its enigmatic creator, and the global law enforcement effort that brought the digital empire crashing down. It examines the lasting impact of the Silk Road on the dark web and the ongoing battle between online criminals and those who seek to bring them to justice. The mastermind behind the Silk Road was Ross Ulbricht, a seemingly ordinary young man with an extraordinary vision. A libertarian idealist, Ulbricht believed in a world free from government interference, where individuals could conduct business without restrictions. The Silk Road was to be his masterpiece, a digital utopia where buyers and sellers could connect without fear of censorship or prosecution. Ulbricht envisioned the Silk Road as a platform for economic freedom, but he knew that the types of goods and services he wanted to facilitate were illegal in most parts of the world. To circumvent law enforcement, he turned to the dark web, using the Tor network to create a hidden marketplace, accessible only to those in the know. He adopted the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, a character from the novel, and later film, The Princess Bride, known for his cunning and ruthlessness. Under the guise of Dread Pirate Roberts, Ulbricht launched the Silk Road in early 2011. Word of the hidden marketplace spread quickly through online forums and chat rooms, frequented by hackers, drug users, and privacy advocates. The Silk Road's promise of anonymity and its wide selection of illicit goods proved irresistible, drawing in a diverse user base from around the globe. The Silk Road's success hinged on two key technological pillars: Bitcoin and the Tor network. Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency, provided a way for buyers and sellers to transact anonymously. Unlike traditional financial transactions, which could be traced through banks and credit card companies, Bitcoin transactions were recorded on a public ledger, known as the blockchain, but the identities of the parties involved were obfuscated by complex cryptography. The Tor network, short for the Onion Router, provided the anonymity that made the Silk Road possible. Developed by the US Navy in the mid-1990s, Tor was designed to protect the communications of intelligence operatives and dissidents living under repressive regimes. Tor worked by routing internet traffic through a series of relays, or nodes, located around the world, making it extremely difficult to trace the origin or destination of a particular connection. By combining Bitcoin and Tor, Ulbricht created a marketplace that was both anonymous and secure, at least in theory. The Silk Road operated as a hidden service, accessible only through the Tor browser. All transactions on the site were conducted using Bitcoin, ensuring that neither buyers nor sellers had to reveal their true identities. The Silk Road's digital storefront was deceptively mundane. Products were organized into categories, much like any other e-commerce website. There were sections for drugs, weapons, counterfeit goods, and even services like hacking and money laundering. Each listing included a description, price in Bitcoin, and a vendor rating system, allowing buyers to assess the quality and reliability of goods and services offered. Drugs were the site's most popular commodity. Users could find everything from marijuana and MDMA to heroin and fentanyl. The Silk Road's drug trade was global in scope, with vendors and buyers located in countries all over the world. The site's anonymity emboldened both parties, leading to a surge in online drug sales. Beyond drugs, the Silk Road hosted a wide range of illegal activities. Stolen credit card data, counterfeit documents, and hacking tools were all readily available. Some vendors even offered weapons for sale, including guns, knives, and explosives. The site's laissez-faire approach to regulation made it a haven for criminals of all stripes. The Silk Road's anonymity proved to be both a blessing and a curse. While it allowed the marketplace to flourish outside the reach of law enforcement for a time, It also made it difficult for authorities to identify and apprehend those responsible for its operation. The investigation into the Silk Road was a complex and challenging undertaking, involving multiple agencies across different jurisdictions. The investigation began in 2011, shortly after the Silk Road first appeared online. Agents from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Homeland Security investigations were all involved, working in conjunction with law enforcement agencies in Europe and elsewhere. The investigation was hampered by the technical challenges of investigating crimes committed on the dark web. Traditional investigative techniques, such as surveillance and undercover operations, were difficult to implement in the anonymous online world. Despite these challenges, investigators made slow but steady progress. They analyzed Bitcoin transactions, tracked down Silk Road servers, and infiltrated the site's inner circle. Their efforts culminated in the arrest of Ross Ulbricht in October 2013. Section 6. The Dread Pirate Roberts Unmasked, The Fall of Ross Ulbricht. Ross Ulbricht's double life as the Dread Pirate Roberts came crashing down in a San Francisco library. Law enforcement officials, who had been meticulously piecing together his online activities, apprehended him as he was logged into the Silk Road administrator account. The arrest sent shockwaves through the dark web, as users realized that the veil of anonymity could be pierced. Ulbricht's trial, which began in January 2015, captivated the world. Prosecutors presented incriminating chat logs, financial records, and Ulbricht's own diary entries. The jury found Ulbricht guilty on all charges. In May 2015, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Section 7. The Legacy of the Silk Road, a New Era of Online Crime. The shutdown of the Silk Road marked a turning point in the fight against online crime. It demonstrated that the dark web, while offering a degree of anonymity, was not impenetrable. Law enforcement agencies worldwide stepped up efforts, dedicating more resources to dark web investigations. However, the demise of the Silk Road did not end dark web marketplaces. Numerous copycat sites emerged, adopting similar business models and utilizing Bitcoin and the Tor network. The cat-and-mouse game between law enforcement and dark web criminals continues to this day. Section 8. The Evolution of Dark Markets, Hydra and Beyond. After the fall of Silk Road, the dark web marketplace landscape became more fragmented, with numerous smaller sites vying for dominance. Some, like Alphabay and Hansa Market, gained notoriety for their size and scope, only to be shut down by law enforcement operations. This constant cycle of takedowns and new entrants became a defining characteristic of the dark web. One notable development in the post-Silk Road era was the rise of Hydra, a marketplace that primarily catered to Russian-speaking users. Hydra distinguished itself by specializing in narcotics, particularly synthetic opioids like fentanyl, and by offering real-world services such as money laundering and document forgery. Its sophisticated infrastructure and ties to organized crime made it a formidable player in the underground economy. However, even Hydra's reign proved finite. In April 2022, a coordinated international operation led by German authorities seized Hydra's servers and shut down the marketplace. This operation, hailed as a major victory against cybercrime, underscored the global nature of the fight against dark web marketplaces and the importance of international cooperation. Section 9. The Future of the Dark Web, a Game of Cat and Mouse. The future of the dark web remains uncertain. The ongoing battle between law enforcement and online criminals is a game of cat and mouse, with each side constantly adapting their tactics and technologies. While the shutdown of major marketplaces like Silk Road and Hydra demonstrates that law enforcement can achieve significant victories, it is unlikely that the dark web will be eradicated entirely. The allure of anonymity and the potential for illicit profits will continue to attract criminals to the dark web. As technology evolves, so too will the methods used by criminals to operate online. Cryptocurrencies, encryption technologies, and anonymizing networks will continue to play a key role in facilitating illegal activities on the dark web. The challenge for law enforcement is to stay one step ahead of these evolving threats. This requires not only technical expertise but also international cooperation, legal frameworks that address the unique challenges of cybercrime, and public awareness campaigns to educate potential users about the dangers of the dark web. The fight for control of the digital underground is far from over.